How's it going, bros? Today, I thought I would talk to you about how your brain differentiates the difference between reality and virtual reality. And for this talk, I thought I would load up the demo called Blocked In because it really helps drive one of the points home. So I won't waste any time, let's jump in. Okay, so I loaded up this room because this room has presence. Now, presence is the subjective experience of being in a place that feels real. And our experience of the world is really just our brain's best estimation of what's going on. And, for that, it takes into consideration past experiences, current sensory information, along with a ton of other things. And that's actually why it's really quite easy to trick the brain. And with presence, the brain is constantly making predictions. And the more predictions that are accurate, the more presence you feel. Your brain is constantly filling in the blanks. So I loaded up this room because this environment really has presence. An example of presence would be like Slenderman. The reason I think that game was so successful is you felt a strong presence. Even if people didn't realize consciously that they felt that, they definitely did. And I think that's why the game was successful. I think the fact that in Slenderman he didn't move really helped. If the character moved and there was this automated, robotic movement, it would kill the presence, and the game still might be cool. It would just be more like arcade. But having him not move, you really felt this sense that things were proper. Another game, there's a demo that I played called The Pathway, and there's aliens in it, and they don't feel like game characters. They feel like they're real. There's definitely presence involved with that. But again, in that demo, the aliens don't move, so there's nothing to break that sense of presence. Now with the presence, you can also feel it in environment. An environment can have a sense of presence, and this one definitely does. It doesn't have to be something that like an environment that could be in reality. In this one, for example, if I look outside, there's Tetris blocks falling and destroying the world, which is definitely something that could never happen in real life. But it doesn't break the presence. That feels like it should be happening. It's really strange. If you've seen the movie City of Ember, this game has a very City of Ember feel. And for example, when I look around, I hear the Tetris music, I see Tetris blocks everywhere. It looks like there's a soldering gun, a Game Boy, there's Tetris playing. There's a TV there with this crazy Tetris blocks being blown apart and going back together, which looks amazing. So when you look outside and see Tetris blocks, it just feels like that's part of this world, and everything seems to line up the way it should. It gets me really excited because if you do a job for a living that can be done on a computer, like say you're a writer or a programmer, or you edit you audio music, anything where you have a program on a computer, you could incorporate that program into an environment with the Oculus Rift. So in front of me here, it looks like there's a computer right here. You could have a keyboard in front of you, and when you type, you see what you're typing on the computer in-game. And that way you could be in whatever environment brings out whatever it is you want to be brought out. For me, if I were writing, I would want to be in an environment where there was maybe like a log cabin and there'd be a waterfall and something very peaceful. But you could put yourself in any environment, especially ones that bring out your creative side. I feel like a room like this could really bring out some people's creativity, could really help with personal projects or even jobs. This is a very simple demo. You can't move around or do anything. But just sitting in this room, it has a really strange, unique feeling. It really feels like this could be a real place. And it's hard to explain if you haven't experienced it. But if you know what I'm talking about with the presence, that's exactly how you feel when you're in here. Which is why I love the Oculus Rift so much. This is an experience you can't have in reality. To see Tetris blocks falling outside and stuff is just something that, obviously doesn't ever happen, never will happen. But to be able to experience it in here is really amazing. Now, they did a study on rats with virtual reality, and the study had to do with place cells. They found that in a real experience, your place cells were 45% active. Place cells are just neurons that basically build a cognitive map of your surroundings. And when they use things like the Oculus Rift, the place cells were 20% active, so a little bit less than half. So it really got me thinking, what's missing from the Oculus Rift experience? And one of the big things, like the visual cues are perfect. For me, this works. Even with low resolution and slight latency, to me it's really not perceivable and it doesn't break immersion. But the balance sensories, they're not being dealt with. I feel if they were, those place cells might go from 20% up to maybe 35 or even 40, potentially gaining the same amount of experience that you could gain if you were actually doing it. For example, if I'm in a plane and I do a barrel roll, I still feel like I'm sitting still the entire time, and that kind of breaks immersion. So I started trying to think of ways that I could address the balance issue, because I want to get the most out of the experience as I possibly can. And I recalled Palmer Luckey talking about something called GVS, galvanic vestibular stimulation. And it's basically where you put electrodes on your head and you send electrical current into your inner ear, and it tricks your brain into thinking that you're moving in ways you're not. So, for example, if you're playing a flight sim and you were to turn the joystick, it would feel like you're actually moving. Your vestibular system is what controls your balance. So with the electrical signals, you can actually make your brain feel like you're moving. So it turns out that the hardware to do this was fairly cheap. You need, obviously batteries are safer. You need about $20 worth of material, but I still wasn't feeling safe, basically zapping my brain. So I ended up messaging Palmer on Facebook. I got some more information about it, and I emailed some of the top guys that are currently working on this. And once I get some safety confirmation from some of them, I'm definitely going to try it out. And with any luck, if I have some success, I'll end up making a video to show you guys kind of how it works and what the experience is like. Anyway, hope you bros have enjoyed this video, and like always, until next time, cheers. So it looks like this one's on kind of an angle. This could prove to be disastrous. Oh, fuck.
They can be re-wibbled around as needed.
This is amazing. Need that over there. Oh, shit. I feel like I'm controlling this shit with my mind. Oh my god, this is amazing.